This reality will rock your soul. The lady who claimed to be your mother was not really your mother. The one who was meant to give you unconditional love was the one who wounded you the most. But now the curtain is rising, revealing the reality. The individual who ridiculed you, silenced you, and attempted to extinguish your light. She was appointed to impede your way since you are not a normal person. You are the chosen one. And now everyone will understand that it is not who raised you that is important, but who recognized and nurtured the precious light that exists inside you. In this scenario, your destiny will take precedence over your history. Prepare to post in the comments because your genuine genealogy, divine purpose, and spiritual heritage are being exposed. You are at the heart of a cosmic storm, an unshakable force whose brightness has disrupted the very fabric of those who prefer to remain buried in darkness. The walls of deception that formerly surrounded you are falling, and the truth is flowing in like a torrent, destroying the dam of lies created against you. The forces who colluded to weaken you and pervert your essence are now being drawn into the light, unable to avoid the ultimate reckoning that awaits the so-called guardian. The person who seemed to care about every word is now revealed. Behind the facade of friendliness is a heart filled with jealousy and hate. She observed your development in quiet, her own potential dwindling in contrast to the vitality that emanates from you. Instead of pursuing progress, she planned to extinguish the fire that had warmed others, making up tales to create shadows where there should have been light. Her acts were not innocent mistakes. They were intentional, determined efforts to entangle you in webs of manipulation. For too long, she played the martyr while portraying you as the antagonist in a tale. She wrote and oversaw the world of vigilant recorder of every hidden truth, preserving every malicious twist of her words and seed of doubt she placed in the minds of others. Her deeds, previously shrouded in mystery, have been revealed as a web of falsehood spun by a jealous spirit. She saw your limitless energy, innate healing abilities, and capacity to climb above. Instead of rejoicing, she despised being unable to recreate what you were born with. Instead of stealing your reputation, she dragged it through the dirt in a frantic effort to stop you from rising. But now every detail of her plan has been revealed. The elaborate web she built for you to fall into suddenly seems as brittle as the paper it was written on. What she didn't comprehend was that light can shine through even the darkest places. She lived off your energy like a parasite, utilizing the uncertainty and doubt she sown to fortify herself, forming cords to hook onto your essence and drain what she couldn't produce on her own. However, parasite can only live if it is linked to its host, and the moment for disengagement has arrived. The severing has already started. Despite her frantic attempt to maintain control, she feels she can manage her way out of the repercussions that are pressing down on her. Her false promises and hollow words are meaningless to those who have seen through her. For example, when a seed eventually bursts free under the earth, it is due to divine timing rather than pressure. Truth, too, has reached its assigned time. What was previously buried is now growing. What was previously concealed under layers of uncertainty is finally making its way to the surface. The quiet that has kept hearts in wait has now broken, guided by the same light that beckons flowers to blossom. And in its proper position, a divine melody is stirring, a sound only heard when heaven meets earth. This is the sound of waking. This is the sound of the truth. Taking its proper place, pay that used to hang heavy over people's heads is starting to disperse. And much like the sun, it rises without a set timetable. So, is clarity filling every dark place? It is not asking for permission. It is announcing itself. The murmurs that previously twisted and dominated are being drowned out by words of courage and knowledge. The shadows that seem to be reality are withdrawing, revealed for what they are, for light always speaks the truth. If you have an overflow of heavenly love in your heart, now is the moment to express it. You are meant to do much bigger things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. As the community wakes, the hold she once held on them starts to fade. This was once her stage. Her world of lies and deceit is now yours. The truth, which had been waiting quietly in the wings, is now hitting center stage and spreading like wildfire. The same individuals who previously believed her deception are now reeling, stunned, and unwilling to accept the stunning fact that they were misled for so long. The falsehoods they unquestioningly accepted now seem like a horrible dream, and they can't bear the notion of being duped. There is no place for compassion. What was once a kind voice of persuasion now seems like the harshest, most stinging betrayal. And let me tell you, there is no mistaking it now. Their fury is now aimed at her rather than you. It is a justified wrath, the knowledge that they have been duped by the person they trusted. The same faces that previously had unflinching faith in her are now filled with remorse, sadness, and guilt when they grasp the enormity of the betrayal. It becomes hard to deny the gravity of their error. They owe you an apology not just for the harm they caused, but also for betraying their own truth. The falsehoods she told to influence their thoughts and govern their behaviors are now unraveling. Each thread of deception is unraveled one by one, like a tapestry being ripped apart with each discovery. The web of lies she has created starts to unravel under the weight of the truth. She no longer has the ability to control people's hearts and minds. Her stories, once so persuasive, have now been revealed as hollow fabrications. What she formerly had over them is now a mere shell of her former power, eroding with each new piece of information exposed. If you experience God's presence, click the join button below to be among the first selected and receive the most crucial revelations early. What is occurring here is more than simply the dissolution of a falsehood. It is the disintegration of the empire she created on deception. She constructed her home on the beach, and now the flood of truth has rolled in to wipe everything away. The foundation she previously stood on is collapsing under her, and with each step she makes to cling on, the ground moves more away from her. The falsehoods she uttered may have previously had strength, but they are now like dust in the wind, dispersed and lost in the wind of divine justice. At the moment, it is not only you who is rising, the whole community. In light of this new reality, the people she formerly ruled over are waking up. They realize that their eyes have been awakened, and the scales that formerly obscured their vision have slipped away. And now they see fully, with such profundity that it shocks them to the core. It's not just a realization. It's a transition, a shift in viewpoint that alters everything. The fog that shrouded their judgment has lifted, and they are joining you in the light. The truth is a strong thing. It doesn't just set you free. It puts everyone free. The shackles that formerly tied the hearts and minds of people around you are finally being broken, piece by piece. As the truth spreads, the falsehoods that kept people trapped in a false world are being revealed for what they are: empty, hollow deceptions. And when each individual realizes this fact, they are faced with a decision. Will they remain firm in their truth, or will they cling to the deception that once gave them comfort? The option is obvious, and the strength of the truth is bringing them into the light. As the community unites behind the truth, they are no longer passive spectators. They are no longer the audience, witnessing the falsehoods unfold in front of them. No, they have actively participated in your vindication. They are more than simply observers of the events as they happen. They are part of the procedure. They stand beside you, unified in the force of the revealed truth. The togetherness that was previously shattered by her deception is gradually being rebuilt as they all realize that they, too, were duped. Like a huge oak sprouting from a seed in the warm spring, your soul springs out from the barren soil of falsehood. Each leaf is a testament to tenacity, and each branch is a beacon of hope. This is the divine unfolding, a spiritual milestone that turns grief into purpose and sadness into a source of illumination. In this holy moment, a transition is taking place that will alter not just your life, but the lives of all souls touched by the truth. The old system, constructed on the brittle scaffolding of falsehoods and false pretenses, is collapsing with irresistible force, paving the way for a new reality based on honesty, honor, and divine clarity. You are on the verge of a new dawn, a new beginning, where every lie, every false story that previously attempted to obscure your brightness is dissolving like dried leaves in the wind. The meticulously built world of illusion that was imposed on you is slowly fading into obscurity. Out of this turbulence, a lively, brilliant reality is emerging. A reality in which integrity and truth provide the foundation for all development and healing in our evolving planet. Your inner light, refined through trials and tribulations, now shines with newfound radiance, attracting others who have long lived in the shadows of doubt. The path that has led you here demonstrates the power of divine intervention. Each challenge, every moment of adversity, and every tear shed has served a greater purpose in the larger scheme of life. What was once a dark and depressing nothingness has become fruitful ground for the seeds of immense change. It's as if the cosmos, in its vast wisdom, had whispered secrets into your heart, softly but firmly leading you toward your destiny. And now, with every breath you take, your destiny is lighted, plain, irrefutable, and strong beyond words. Dear brothers and sisters, May God's peace come upon you today. I'm here to remind you of a fundamental fact. Our existence is based on God's divine purpose and is unaffected by worldly worries. According to the Bible, everything is done with faith will be returned to God with great blessing. Look, like the enormous oak tree, our roots are profoundly embedded in God's global truth. His power secures every stride, every stance we take. There is a perceptible change in communal awareness, a burst of insight that breaks through the vestiges of controlled cognition. The formerly believing eyes, veiled by manufactured lies, may now see plainly, like a ray of pure sunshine. And with that clarity comes a surge of feeling. Regret about the past, anger at the treachery, a steadfast determination to regain the truth. It's as if a huge curtain is being pushed back to expose a stage where genuineness reigns supreme. Every heart beats in rhythm with a renewed purpose. This awakening is more than simply an inward revolution. It is a call to action for everyone who has experienced the sting of injustice. You are no longer alone due to the weight of lies. Instead, you are surrounded by a community that grows with you. Every individual who was formerly deceived now stands beside you, unified in their quest for truth and repair. In this holy relationship, the voices that formerly planted seeds of doubt have been muted, replaced with a booming chorus confirming your integrity. The same energy that was aimed against you is now converting into a protecting force, a shield built from the strands of shared hope and insight. Consider how the harsh winds of misfortune have honed you like a skilled artist chiseling stone into art. The criticism, backstabbing, and constant onslaught of falsehoods were the sparks that lit the inner fire of resolve. You escaped from the blaze not only unhurt, but also exalted. Even when the fabrications collapse, this live manifestation of heavenly power and tenacity remains. The truth that burns inside you creates a blazing light that cannot be dimmed by even the smallest effort at deception. The strength of your authenticity has shattered every false construct built against you, leaving just the glorious light of truth, gleaming with the majesty of who you actually are. If you experience God's presence, touch the join button below to be among the first to receive the most crucial insights. As this wonderful transition develops, individuals who formerly relished in the shadows of deception are forced to own their involvement. Their eyes, previously obscured by illusions, are now wide open to the startling clarity of what has been lost and must be recovered. In this raw moment of truth, rage and anguish collide as they understand the seriousness of their misplaced trust. However, inside that knowledge comes the possibility of atonement, the opportunity to establish a foundation of truth and integrity. After being deceived for so long, the community is finally going within to heal and forth to advocate for honesty. This metamorphosis has an obvious beauty, produced not of perfection, but of the brave act of rising above darkness. The echoes of old deceptions are dying out, replaced by the lively harmonies of real rejuvenation. Every falsehood that broke beneath the weight of honesty has created a tapestry of hope, sewn together by the hands of people who now choose to live. In reality, your path, distinguished by unshakable faith and unrelenting perseverance, has transformed into a light that leads others from despair to success. It is a transformation that can not only be seen but also felt deep inside the psyche. A seismic shift that transforms the fundamental nature of community and connection. As you stand in this moment of tremendous insight, you become a live example of the force of divine justice. The hardship that once threatened to shatter you has converted into the very stepping stones on which you now boldly stroll into a future full of promise. Every difficulty, every moment of gloom now reflects the prospect of a fresh beginning. The shift you have endured is more than just personal. It is ubiquitous, a plea to all those who have been deceived to reclaim their birthright to light, truth, and abundant grace. This is a holy declaration. The moment has arrived to release the weight of the past. The falsehoods that once kept you prisoner have faded into obscurity, replaced by the clarion cry of a greater purpose. Every star, every pulse is aligned to confirm your destiny for greatness. Your inner light, refined by every challenge and strengthened by every success, now shines as a beacon for others who desire to discover their own path from darkness to brightness. You are not alone at this glorious time. The universe seems to conspire in your favor, crafting a symphony of redemption that reverberates throughout the heavens. The powers of justice and compassion have united, forging a destiny that assures no shade can ever again obscure the truth that burns so brilliantly inside you. With each stride forward, the fresh vigor of your soul opens the way to wealth. And everyone who walks with you may feel the uplifting pulse of heavenly promise fulfilled. Each passing instant is filled with a tremendous potential of transformation, a holy reminder that the human spirit, when aligned with divine purpose, has the ability to break down even the most impenetrable barriers of deception. As you remain solid in this revolutionary energy, recognize that the trip ahead is full with unlimited possibilities. Your tale, written in the language of light and truth, is a summons to those who dare to imagine a better future. A world in which every soul is treasured, every falsehood is exposed, and every heart shines with the unrivaled brightness of its divine birth. Now is the moment to bravely enter this new reality, putting behind the relics of a false past. For when you come up, you not only regain your due role as a messenger of light and truth, but you also spark a revival that promises to restore hope to every corner of existence. May your path be filled with unflinching bravery and limitless pleasure, as you guide us all into a future brimming with the promise of a life lived in divine agreement with the everlasting law of love, truth, and prosperity. What she believed would break you has really made you stronger. What she expected to isolate you has brought you closer to the community, which now recognizes you for who you are, strong, resilient, and full of divine purpose. As the falsehoods shatter and the truth emerges, so will your power. And right now, while the world around you changes, you're standing at the midst of it all. Unwavering, and unstoppable. The truth is yours, and it will be well recognized, for nothing can stop it. Let this serve as a reminder to everyone that, no matter how black the night, daybreak is always on the horizon. The light always triumphs, and the truth always emerges. And with it, so do you. For many, the truth arrives gradually, like the calm, steady light of dawn. Others have a startling understanding, a searing moment of clarity when everything comes together. What they formerly believed to be true now looks to be an illusion. As their eyes open, they are seized with a desire to make apologies for their previous culpability. They are not just walking away from her. They're turning against her. Those who formerly supported her falsehoods are now against her. Their voices rose in unison to decry the tactics that had kept them confined. They will soon come to you. Their features were marred with remorse. Some will apologize with humility, realizing their part in spreading misinformation. Others will express their regret by their behaviors, trying to set things right. The power she previously had over them, the divide she sows, is quickly fading as they reconnect with their own realities. They also reconnect with you. The bonds she forged, the isolation she attempted to force on you, are being severed. People who were formerly blind are now fully awake, and their reawakening marks the end of her reign of deception. What she had built up over the years by manipulating emotions, sowing division, and weaving webs of falsehoods is now being ripped down. The neatly constructed house of cards is toppling beneath the weight of the truth. She believed her falsehoods would be concealed forever. But the universe exists. Justice is an unstoppable force. And now, as she scrambles to save what little strength she has left, she is just digging herself deeper into a hole from which she cannot escape. The truth has been revealed, and all that remains for her is to face the consequences. You become a part of his divine plan. You are a powerful, dazzling creature, as steadfast as his enormous rock, who has experienced God's marvels. Feel the fruits of your kindness in your spirit, and brighten the world with confidence and bravery. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord lead you. A significant transformation is underway, one that has been inscribed in the fundamental fabric of existence. What was once intended to bring you down has become the same power that lifts you. The false narratives and falsehoods that previously encircled you have transformed into a shield, strengthening your position and displaying the truth with a power that no deceit can match. Those who formerly questioned your honesty and whispered questions into the wind are now finding their voices aligned with your truth. The energy they formerly hurled at you is now fueling your climb, while you stayed steadfast and unyielding in your truth. Unseen hands have been methodically assembling the pieces of a huge jigsaw, constructing an unassailable case that will leave no space for deception. Previously, the wheels of justice were sluggish and hampered. Now spin with surgical accuracy, breaking down every falsehood, exposing every fabrication with perfect time. The truth that had been buried in whispers is now gushing out like a torrent, overwhelming the efforts of those who believed they could keep it hidden. Every covert communication, every concealed message is now being investigated. What they believed were private talks are suddenly the instruments that will cement their doom. The universe's unwavering wisdom assures that even the darkest darkness cannot stay concealed indefinitely. Every attempt to hide the truth merely fuels its emergence. The records that were formerly hidden away now serve as concrete evidence, not just of a plot, but also of cosmic justice unfolding before everyone. If you experience God's presence, touch the join button below to be among the first to receive the most crucial insights. The timing of this discovery beyond human understanding. It is in perfect harmony with the universe's design. If this time had arrived sooner, some people would have fallen through the gaps too late, causing even greater pain. However, when the truth emerges into public light, it brings with it a wave of clarity that washes away the residues of deception. Every piece of the puzzle has been put precisely where it should be. And suddenly everything fits into place. The cosmos has led this process with unseen hands, ensuring that no stone goes untouched. No witnesses went unheard, and no evidence was erased. Divine powers have operated behind the scenes, hastening the gradual march of justice and clearing channels that were previously closed. This is more than simply personal vindication. This is a watershed moment for anybody who has been caught up in a web of deceit. What was once a painfully slow process is now accelerating with irresistible speed. The barriers that were impenetrable are shattering as the forces of truth strive hard to clear the path. What began as a deception campaign has evolved into a lesson on how the cosmos corrects its path. This is a transformation in not just your life, but also the balance of truth and falsehood. The cosmic balances have tilted, and light-based forces now rule. The understanding that this moment delivers will change the world for the rest of its existence. What started as an isolated injustice has evolved into the foundation of a broader shift, one that will reverberate throughout history, altering how truth and falsehoods are handled in the world.